Centuries before the Inca civilization ruled huge sections of South America, there existed a proud and advanced culture known as the Chachapoya. This mysterious civilization lived amongst the clouds in what is now the mountainous region of Peru. Their proud nature and fighting spirit earned them the nickname Warriors of the Clouds. In today's episode, we will look into the mysterious Chachapoya civilization. Recent archaeological discoveries have provided significant insights into the history of Peru's Chachapoya people. Until the 1990s, much of what was understood about this pre-Columbian culture, known as the Warriors of the Clouds by the Inca, was derived from second-hand accounts of questionable accuracy by Spanish chroniclers. Even today, the Chachapoya puzzle has more gaps than pieces, yet interest and knowledge in the civilization is growing. In 2017, the hilltop Chachapoya Ruins of Kuelap were equipped with a cable car and marketed by the Peruvian government as a northern rival to Machu Picchu. Predating the Inca by over 6 centuries, the Chachapoya culture experienced significant development beginning around 800 AD. In the remote northern highlands of Peru, an area characterized by rugged mountains, deep canyons, and towering waterfalls, where the eastern slopes of the Andes transition into the humid Amazon basin. Here, a loose society of small kingdoms gradually established themselves, engaging in the cultivation of terraced fields and serving as trading intermediaries between the Andes and the Amazon. The population, which may have reached 500,000 at its peak, fostered powerful shamans and supported a powerful army. It evolved with little outside influence, until the incursion of the Inca in the 1470s. With no written language, much of what is known about the Chachapoya is derived from archaeological remains found at burial sites on hard-to-access limestone cliffs in Peru's cloud forests. Characterized by sarcophagi with humanoid faces and dwelling-like mausoleums that were built into the rock face and adorned with rust-red imagery, these stone tombs, or cholpas, which still look down imposingly from isolated hillsides, suggest a vigorous, independent culture that was markedly different from its Andean neighbors. Unlike other South American civilizations, the Chachapoya seem to embrace hierarchies. Their burial methods, while elaborate, appear to be quite egalitarian, and the surviving architecture show very few symbols of status. Spanish colonial reports describing the Chachapoya as white-skinned and fair-haired were doubtful, fueling unfounded speculation regarding their origins as mythical European explorers from overseas. Subsequent archaeological research has since dispelled the myth that the Cloud Warriors were displaced Vikings. They were, however, reputed to possess a robust warrior spirit. Refusing to submit to the rapidly expanding Inca in the 15th century, they fought ferociously from hilltop forts before their eventual defeat in the late 1400s. Many of the survivors were subjugated and forcibly relocated to distant parts of the Inca Empire to avoid future rebellions. Those who remained sided opportunistically with the Spanish when they arrived in the 1530s, but European diseases and harsh treatment by their new overlords ensured that, by the early 17th century, Chachapoya language and culture had all but disappeared. The greatest surviving manifestation of Chachapoya civilization lies in the magnificent ruins of Kuelap, an urban, political, and religious site that sits 10,000 feet above the Utsubamba River Valley on a misty mountain ridge defended by 65-foot-high walls. Kuelap predates the citadel of Machu Picchu by at least 700 years, and exhibits stone masonry skills as remarkable as those later displayed by the Inca. Characterized by the simple square friezes and sculpted serpents that decorate stone facades, these symbols are replicated in at least half a dozen other ruins in the area. Kuelap was the culmination of a collective effort by cooperating groups of people that lasted centuries. It provides evidence of a highly developed, well-organized society existing in northern Peru long before the emergence of the Inca civilization. The massive external walls contain human remains and were probably used as ritual burial sites. Inside the formidable defenses, a further 420 buildings have been identified and mapped, from family dwellings to an inverted cylindrical structure thought to be the complex's ceremonial center. Kuelap was abandoned in the late 1500s, possibly after a massacre and a fire. It was rediscovered by a Peruvian judge in 1843, but due to its remoteness, it was not seriously excavated until the late 1990s. Ongoing digs at the site continue to raise as many questions as conclusions. While the massive structures are impressive, questions about the citadel's day-to-day function, its spiritual status, and its significance in wider Chachapoya culture continue to perplex. Other Chachapoya sites in the area are equally cloaked in mystery. A previously unknown ruin at La Penitenciaria de la Meseta was uncovered as recently as 2006. What lies in these places and other yet-to-be-discovered sites is tantalizingly elusive. History is traditionally written by the winners, and the winners in the Chachapoya story, the Inca and then the Spanish, were notoriously unreliable historians. Perhaps, in the coming decades, further research will fill in some of the unanswered questions. How unified were the warriors of the clouds? How isolated were they from other Peruvian cultures? Were they as illustrious as the Inca? The story is still in its infancy. This concludes today's episode of the Paranormal Report. If you enjoyed today's episode, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. It is due to your continued viewership and support that we are able to bring you interesting and informative videos like this. The team here at the Paranormal Report really appreciates your support.